What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Listen, in today's video we're going to talk all about how a trader should be preparing themselves to start the trading week. All right, so there are a couple of things that we have to get into, a couple of things that traders need to know that they should be doing in order to prepare themselves to be successful in the trading week. Let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you should be doing and utilizing the weekends, to be honest, when it comes to preparing yourself for the trading week to come, is doing your market research and analysis. Now, listen, I know most of you guys who are probably watching this video are probably just technical analysis traders, and that's fine, completely fine. But along with technical analysis and trying to figure out where you find your strategy and try to figure out how to draw your trend lines and your support and resistance, it's also valuable to know what's actually going on in the economy. It's valuable to know what are those movers and shakers that are actually influencing price movements on the charts. It just helps you that much more. Not to say you can't make money with just knowing technicals, but it does help you that much more, especially when you know there's fundamental data backing exactly what your bias is, or maybe there's fundamental data that goes against what your bias is. Maybe it changes your perspective on how you look at the overall trade. But preparing yourself by doing market research and analysis is something that can definitely help you get ahead and be ahead of many traders in the weeks to come. So you want to make sure you're doing your due diligence. You're going on different websites like fxstreet.com, going on investing.com, wherever you get your content for market research. Do that, do a little reading, add that to your preparation, and you're going to start to see the improvements and the overall understanding of the market start to improve. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to have a technical preparation as well. Obviously, this is probably the most obvious point here. The technical preparation is important because you want to know from ahead of time, just based on how the market looks at its close, what you will anticipate, what you will do if the market goes this way, if the market goes that way. I used to mark the charts up and have a bias in mind before the market started, but I've come to realize that what I'd like to do now is also mark the charts up, but this time create scenarios for if price goes this way or that way, right? If it goes buy side, if it goes sell side, if it consolidates, what is my strategy if it does either one? That prepares me a lot more. That way I don't marry myself to one particular bias, right? I'm not trying to force any trades, and I'm open to whatever the market does. I'm waiting, I'm patient for what the market gives me, and based on what the market gives me, I'm able to execute because I've prepared for that scenario ahead of time. So making sure that there is a technical preparation along with, of course, the fundamental preparation is key and is very important for you to be ahead of the game when it comes to the trading week. Now, the next thing you want to have is a trading plan and a watch list, right? So you want to know exactly how you're going to be approaching the markets this particular week. Now, why this is important is because a lot of times traders have created a trading plan, and maybe that's a trading plan that they created a year or years ago. But the reason why you want to review week in and week out your trading plan is because depending on market conditions, things may need to be tweaked a bit, right? Your trading plan, maybe you're going for something like 100 pips per trade. But if the market conditions change, then you're gonna have to realize you may not be able to get that 100 pips. Maybe I have to adjust my trading plan to getting 50 pips now. So you need to be mindful of what's going on in the markets. What's the feel of the markets, right? What kind of market conditions do we have so that my trading plan could be adjusted? Also, not every strategy works in every market condition. So does this particular market condition work towards my particular strategy, right? If not, then again, my trading plan needs to be adjusted. Perhaps I need to wait a little bit more, right? Wait for that right trade because these market conditions are not producing my particular setup. I want to be able to do all of that and have a malleable trading plan as I approach the week to come. Now, obviously, you should also have a watch list as well. We don't want to be trading every single instrument that's out there. We want to have specific things that we trade consistently, maybe even particular things that we trade if the instrument that we trade is not necessarily conducive towards a particular strategy at the moment in time. So you want to have backups for that. Having a watch list of instruments that I follow and I trade and I break down and I understand what's going on in those markets definitely help when I need to switch from what instrument I'm trading. Now, the next thing, and a very important thing, is going to be your mindset and your psychology. Very, very important to readjust your psychology, your mindset, all of these things as you approach the week to come. You know, a funny thing happens with traders oftentimes, and it has to do with Fridays sometimes. What happens is sometimes, and this has happened to me, but on a Friday, depending on how you end your Friday, depending on how you end your trading week, does tend to affect you on the week to come. Let me explain. So if you imagine you had a pretty good trading week Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday you really wanted to risk heavier because you wanted to have an amazing week. Now you lost all of the profits, maybe even more than all of the profits. Now it affects you, it affects your confidence as you come in to the markets on Monday or Sunday night. Even when you win on Friday, if you win big on Friday, you also have this feeling of, you know what, I'm on top of the world. Everything I do, it turns into gold. And you also want to carry that over into the following week. And you tend to start to take trades that maybe you probably wouldn't have, just because you start to feel good about yourself. You got to be very, very careful here and reset your mind. Whether or not you're coming from a winning week or a losing week, your mind needs a reset. Your mind needs to come back down to earth and tell yourself how you're going to be approaching this market methodically and strategically. Now, things that help you do this is by having a trading journal, reviewing that trading journal, and making sure that you understand the wins, the losses, the lessons that you got from that trading journal. Also, in addition to that, is setting weekly goals. You want to set goals for yourself, and it doesn't have to be a monetary goal, but it could be a goal in terms of following your rules, following your strategies, telling yourself that you won't break this rule today. Setting those goals and hitting those goals could help you not only for the whole week, but day in and day out as you are trading. So make sure you're doing these things. And in addition to that, things outside of trading, make sure that you're on top of those things. Going to the gym, eating right, drinking your water, meditating, praying, whatever that you do that relaxes you, that puts you in a good mental state, do those things so that you can be prepared as you start the trading week. Now, last but not least, even your workspace setup actually does matter. I'm somebody who I can't necessarily be effective if the place in which I'm working is very, very messy. Make sure that wherever you're trading, wherever you're working, right, your workspace, clean that up. Make sure that you are organized outside of the charts so that when it comes to the charts, you can also be organized as well. Be in a clean environment, be in an organized environment, and it also trickles to organizing your mind so that you can be successful on the charts. All right, guys. So all of these things are necessary as you're preparing yourself for the trading week. And if you don't do these things, you'll find yourself just falling into the same mistakes over and over and over again. Start to change your approach, have a more methodical approach, and take this craft seriously. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys start to change, prepare for the markets in the weeks to come. And I hope that it has a great effect on your trading overall. Now, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, peace.